Oh, I'm just starting the recording. Okay. So, what is the influence of religion? See, one theory is very clearly that all these religious centers are set up with the idea and perception that God is the one which has all the universal powers. And these God and forces alike, however, as I was telling yesterday, they cannot function on their own. They are to govern the world in line with the law of thought. Is that clear? They don't have an exception because the destiny itself is the law of thought. Law of thought by virtue of the individual, law of thought by virtue of the group, right? Law of thought, when you say group of people, group of civilizations, group of nations, and so on, right? So it is due to the operation of this law as destiny that events occur on the physical plane. Which is the physical plane? Which is the physical plane? Physical plane कौन सा है? क्या हो गया? No one is able to talk. Of people there? Archana, Deepa, are you able to hear?
Oh, sir, I was in kitchen, sir. Sorry.
Achha, you are in kitchen.
Yes, physical pain. Yeah, no, sorry. Like I was,
Right.
I was packing lunch for my.
Okay, so this physical plane is the solid plane. Which is the solid plane? It is the plane of the physical plane of the human world, right? Events occur in a harmonious manner, which makes certain the continuance of law of the law's operation. That means whatever thoughts are getting created, they are universal in nature till balanced. So this is how the plan of the universe is carried out and its purpose accomplished. What is the purpose of the universe?
Progression.
It's progression.
Progression. Correct.
Yeah.
Now, progression happens through, in the absence of the human body, is there progression on the physical earth?
No.
Because the nature matter has to get purified and the filter is the human body, through which the recycling happens, the form achieves its ultimate shape. Right? So, religion has been a substitute for this law of thought. Right? And each religion, because of the limitation of the person who has interpreted the law of thought, has created beliefs, and those beliefs, wherever he could not follow, he just said that is how it is. And he has blamed God. So he says, this is how it is, and has explained to the others, subservient to him, saying that God is unjust, God is cruel, and so on and so forth. Right? And that God's actions are abrupt, and so on. Such religions have held the minds of men in bondage. Why? Why do you think the minds of men, when he says men here, it is the humankind. Why is it held in bondage? Why do you think the mind is holding everything in bondage?
Because we are giving the power to some other entity than ourselves.
Correct. That is one. The second thing is, in the name of religion, which we are taught to believe from day one, we are taught to accept without questioning, which is another way of saying the same thing that you just said. Right? So, in every age, one of the gods was represented as a ruler, and that is how the whole thing started, manifesting in the minds of people and all. Correct? So, a solution of this difficulty was sometimes found in after death adjustment in the heaven or hell. To that extent, the minds were poisoned. To that extent, explanation was as a limiting factor. As the human becomes more and more enlightened, he will find in the clear and precise understanding of the law of thought. Okay, see, just compare ourselves to a stage when we were before the meditation and today after we have got into meditation. Is our thinking as vague and dispersed as it is today? Or
No,
do
sir,
we see
not at
our
all.
thoughts with a lot of clarity today?
Very much clear, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. So that as we enlighten ourselves, as we increase our consciousness, our ability to comprehend things better will keep on increasing. And progressively, he will accordingly outgrow the need for belief in the doctrines. What are these doctrines? What are these doctrines? Where are they coming from? Where are the doctrines
From the
coming
society?
from? They are the
From the
religious
society?
beliefs.
Yeah.
They are the religious beliefs that we get subjected. So, one way to look at religion is a factor which is based on belief and faith, nurtured throughout our life, and valid when we consider the fact that they are, by virtue of our ignorance, improper understanding of the law of thought. Okay? Similarly, there are a number of theories when it comes to the soul and soul's destiny. The rationality of the law of thought is in marked contrast to the various contradictory or irrational teachings concerning the origin and nature and destiny of that which has been called the soul. So he's explaining, saying that there is a lot of irrational thought process even surrounding what one can call soul. And it should dissipate the general ignorance that has existed concerning the soul. What should this book will take us through in its journey, give us better understanding of what that material that we call soul is. We already know in terms of his definition of what is that soul. Correct? And the fact is that the conscious self
Sir,
in
can
the
you
body,
repeat the definition of the soul given by Percival, sir? Once.
see, on one side, the soul is the breath form. On other side, soul in the living body is formed at the time when the post-conception, the child birth takes place, along with his first breath. The breath and goes and joins the form in the heart. That becomes the living soul in the body.
Okay.
Who is this living soul? From the triune self, a portion of the doer descends into the body. That is also the soul.
A portion. Okay. A portion of the doer enters
Because
into the.
he is empowered with the responsibility of the progression of the universe by virtue of his individual progress. Because the form has become imperfect because of the corruption. The corruption of yielding to feeling and desire.
Yielding to feeling and desire.
Okay. Now, so he has to come, and some component has to come to purify. The knower and thinker are eternally in the realm of permanence. They don't leave it. They lend their powers to maintain contact with the doer in the body. Okay, as we progress towards the end of this chapter, we will also identify that when we call a mind, there are three minds that we respond to. It is not just one mind. There is a mind for the thinker. There is a mind for the desire. So thinking, and when I say thinking, it is the feeling. So there is a feeling mind, there is a desire mind, and there is a body mind. Right? Which of these minds can you control by virtue of your meditation? Just extend your thought. See whether you are able to.
Desire mind.
The thinking and the desire mind?
No. Only the body mind.
Body mind.
Because when you are meditating, you are bringing your senses under control. Which of the mind responds to the senses?
Oh, the body mind. Yeah.
The body.
Yeah.
Because the doer in the body is under the control of the feeling and desire. When you break down, what are the active and passive components of the thinker?
The breath and the form?
Breath and form is the doer.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's the doer.
So,
feeling and desire.
Reason.
think,
And rightness.
don't jump. Think a bit. Thinker and knower.
Reason and rightness, sir.
Reason
Thinker.
and rightness is the
Thinker, active and
active.
passive.
Okay. And because please understand, when I say active and passive, each one dominates you, your behavior, everything. That is why you need active and passive. Correct? Now,
Yes.
let us take the same concept a little bit ahead. What about knower?
It is selfness and I-ness.
So
Active and
knower is
passive
reason and
component.
rightness.
Yes.
Right?
So, the knower has got everything to do with your ego. Please understand that. Okay. So, let's come back. The fact is that the conscious self in the body is of the doer of the triune self. Who is this conscious self again?
Doer.
Break down the doer further.
It is feeling and desire.
He is under the influence of the doer is the one who controls the feeling and desire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because of which he is under the influence of what?
Thoughts.
Four
Four senses.
senses. Beautiful.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So feeling and desire, while in the body, he is under the influence of feeling and desire. Feeling and desire are a manifestation of the control exercised by the four senses,
Yes.
which build a coil of flesh around the doer in the body, around the soul. See how beautiful his construct is. But, right? So, the fact is that the conscious self in the body is of the doer of the triune self, and that the soul is merely the form of the breath form or living soul. Now you understand the relationship, Archana?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See, the way to think and analyze this statement is breath and form, when together, have got a responsibility. Form is your pattern. Okay, the shape.
Mm-hmm.
And breath is the one which helps build it, repair it, maintain it.
Sustain. Huh.
Okay, that is why they say meditation is the cure for any suffering.
Because it's a breath.
We say,
Okay,
right?
because of breath form. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Correct,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is very important for us to understand. Okay, now look at this. The fact is that the conscious self in the body is that of the doer in the doer of the triune self. He is the one who has descended into that body. Originally, this body, when it was fully balanced, was an immortal physical body.
Mm-hmm.
Because he became pure, the triune self had to clean it for it to continue to stay. Till that cleaning happens, and the doer who has come down is completely purified, and the body is now clean enough for the triune self to occupy. Till such time, the knower and thinker of this triune self will not progress. They will halt. उनका भी progress नहीं होता है, रुक जाता है. Right? So, and that the soul is merely the form of the breath form or living soul. Breath form is the living soul because that is when he gets into the body, correct?
Yeah.
Which still belongs to nature, because the moment he has become a living body, correct, he has become part of the nature. When he is part of the nature as a unit, what is his qualification?
Controlled by senses.
Controlled by senses. That is his functioning. Correct. But what is his qualification? His level of consciousness. What determines his consciousness?
So thoughts,
Balance.
Socho.
thoughts,
They're
sir.
only related to the function,
Degree
conscious of the
of
function.
consciousness by virtue of its function. An unintelligent matter
To the
is aware, his consciousness is to the extent of his function only. The best example you can think of is your four senses. Till they come together, are they aware of anything else? Are your eyes
No.
aware of what is happening in your ears?
No, sir.
No, sir.
or vice versa? Till they are integrated with something else, right? So they are unintelligent matter towards the progression. When all of them merge together, they are completely purified,
Yes.
right?
Mm.
So, but which must be advanced beyond nature by the triune self. So what is the soul? The soul is the doer of the triune self. Because he has become impure, he is belonging to nature, he needs to get purified. Again, by whom?
Service of both others,
No, by purifying himself.
himself. Okay.
By balancing desire and
Balancing.
feeling.
Correct. Right? So, but which must be advanced beyond nature. That means when it is beyond nature means it is going by the triune self. The triune self in the body is the soul. Right? In that sense, only it is correct to speak of the need for saving one's soul. I mean, because people use this phrase very loosely, he has made this comment. No teaching has been generally accepted which states that the individual is solely responsible for whatever happens to him. None of the religious teachings subscribe to this statement. This is due to the fact that a vague sentiment of fear affects all persons who share the notions of majority of their contemporaries concerning the origin and nature, the purpose and destiny of the human. All these arise because of religious teachings. Okay, so this takes us to this is the introduction of this chapter, okay? Chapter 2, that was the introduction. So, what is available? What is the system of nature? And, right, how do we progress into that? As a definition, just understand this much, that what is the triune self? The triune self is something that is there not only in this physical world, there is triune self of each of the physical worlds or each of the worlds. Okay, in relation to the supreme intelligence. Consists of the triune self is the indivisible self-knowing and immortal one, consisting of knower, thinker, doer. Right? As knower, he is the identity and knowledge part. As thinker, it is the rightness and the reason part. And as a doer, he is the feeling and desire part, existing periodically on the earth. These don't come to the earth, they are eternal, both of them. Okay, this is just an input at this stage, don't go beyond this. Just keep this much knowledge in you. Now let us go and try to understand the nature side of universe. What is this nature side? Draw the picture in your mind.
Elementals.
Pardon? The element.
Like nature side, the intelligent and unintelligent
Yeah,
part.
so
which
all
is
the
only
unintelligent matter is known as in the nature side. The highest form of nature side happens to be breath form. Right? Okay, now let us understand this. Let us start with trying to get a classification such as God, nature, man, body, soul, spirit, or and spirit, or matter, force, and consciousness, good and evil, all these are insufficient. They are makeshifts, not parts of a system. The universe has a system. All these things are included in it. Yet these various entities and things have each a place in the vast scheme. But what place has not been shown, right? Okay. Now, this is all the explanation of the system. Huh? Things that are explicable are part of the system. That which cannot be explained is also part of the system. That exists is part of the system, and that is not visualized. Our consciousness levels are not enough for us to visualize. That is also part of the system. The outline of the system of the universe, time, space, and dimensions. The development is of this universe happens by virtue of progression, not evolution. Okay. So, what does this universe consist of? From the current understanding of whatever we have discussed, what do you think the universe consists of?
Intelligent and unintelligent matter.
Pardon?
Intelligent and unintelligent matter, sir.
Well, that's okay. But basically, it comprises of everything that you can think of and not think of also.
Manifested, unmanifested.
Correct. But everything is in existence. Consists of, this system consists of the universe. The system of the universe consists of the universe in its entirety, from the smallest division to the largest division. Okay. It shows the place of the human body in relation to the physical universe. Which one? All these components. The human in relation to his triune self and the supreme intelligence of the universe. So this division, this bifurcation shows all these parameters. And finally, consciousness, the ultimate one, reality. Correct? This system, when you break it down, it shows the place of a human body in relation to the physical universe, the human in relation to its triune self, and the supreme intelligence of the universe, and finally, consciousness, the ultimate one reality. There is only one single reality. Correct? What further does it show? It shows us a universe which consists of nature matter and intelligent matter, and consciousness which is the same in both kinds of matter. So consciousness is not something that is changing. What is changing?
Awareness.
Body.
Awareness.
Yeah.
How conscious it is of itself, right? The light that is helping it shine, the light it is able to recognize, all these are the definitions we can use for the word consciousness. Okay, so that is the only one, whereas the consciousness is the same in everyone. To what extent is it able to reflect? It is like this. See, if you take Oracle as a product, anyone from the IT field here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, Oracle as a product, or if you take telecom wing, you take Amdocs as a product. They have all the powers when it is created. But the revenue model is such that you make a payment, a portion of that process is licensed to you. Then you further make a payment, then more people can use it, more features will be opened up. So that is how the product is designed. Right? Like that, we have products who have everything inside us, but our awareness is the problem. Okay? Right? So the limiting factor, the difference between these entities which comprises the universe is in the level of the, otherwise the entire package consisting, they have everything within them, from the largest to the smallest. It is the question of awareness, right? Matter differs in the degree in which it is conscious, which we all know. All matter units, all matter as units on the nature side and on the intelligent side. Let us consider. Nature side is conscious, but merely to the extent of its function only. Right? And on the intelligent side is conscious that it is conscious. That means it is aware of its consciousness. Any question?
Sir,
Right?
increasing awareness means increasing the knower or thinker or doer. What is that exactly?
Swarna, you have read the mobile phone example, right?
Right, sir.
That I posted. Consider the awareness you had when the mobile phone was first launched. Has the mobile phone changed?
No, sir.
Your awareness about the mobile phone has changed, correct?
Right.
That it can do so many things. Apply that analogy to your question. What do you get?
So the physical entity doesn't change, but inside that, senses.
The awareness. So awareness is what? You know that it can do so many things. You know its power. You recognize, right? Are you with me?
Increasing the senses capacity.
No, it is increasing or increasingly progressing towards its all potential. You see that?
So what are we increasing? Is it the capacity of the senses that we have?
No. You know that senses, you are increasing the knowledge that senses do not control you. As compared to you being under the control of the senses. So there is a difference in the understanding of both the sentences, correct?
Yeah, all these days I had like in understanding consciousness and awareness is same, but now we know that consciousness is same in everybody and
consciousness and awareness, see, awareness is a measure of the degree.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it increases every time, but I'm trying to see what exactly we are increasing here.
See, you take the understanding to be like this. Consciousness is put into a maze, a labyrinth of veils. See, like the example of diamond. What is diamond in its raw form? Did you ever think?
Yeah, just like a rock.
No, it is actually coal.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Fossil.
Correct.
Mm.
Now, if I give you coal and ask you to pay me the price of a diamond, will you pay me?
No, sir.
Right?
Mm.
But if I show you a shining stone and say it is diamond, you may end up buying it, right?
Mm.
But if you are aware that there is a methodology to the madness of creating a diamond.
So the knowledge, we are increasing the knowledge, so that increasing the awareness.
Obviously, ignorance is
Yeah, knowledge, lack of knowledge.
lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge is equal to darkness.
Mm.
See, there is nothing like
So it's a knower.
darkness. See, there is nothing like darkness.
Mm.
It is light, but light is invisible. As you start progressing towards the visibility of light, as you get into limelight,
Mm.
right? See, how did the word limelight come into picture? Have you ever thought about it? Do you know the
Maybe.
origin of the word limelight?
I don't know, sir, but I'm thinking it might be from light.
No, it is actually from lime.
Oh, from lime?
Yes. See, in the olden days, to generate light, they used to burn lime.
Mm.
Okay. And then they will put an arc of reflection around it, a mirror sort of a thing, and keep turning it wherever they wanted light to focus.
Mm.
Okay. So the light of the lime has to fall to eliminate darkness.
Mm. Okay.
Okay. So the burning lime had to be oriented because it is
So
not
like a light, it's a
omnipresent.
light bulb. It became
Correct.
a light bulb. Mm.
Correct. Right. So as you increase the bitumens in which the light is luminous,
Mm.
it is increase of the potential of brilliance,
Mm.
of visibility. So that is the difference. You are understanding now?
So Mohinder, yeah. The knowledge means directly I know that, knowledge is removes the ignorance, and even Vedas and all, everybody says, but
Ah.
here it clearly now that is called awareness.
Correct. Correct.
So we are
The
using that knowledge.
The more you
and
know about it, more is your awareness about it.
Correct. Exactly. Yeah, that I was able to
See,
okay, wow.
till we came into meditation, right? We were functioning, our body was functioning in the involuntary manner.
Mm.
It was breathing, it was falling sick, it was repairing itself, it was falling sick, and so on. But today we know that we can direct the breath where we want it to go to shape the form that we want.
Correct.
Right?
Exactly. Then we know the knowledge. Now we are able to, recover and resolve and all those
Correct.
things happening.
Correct.
So, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Great. Thank you, sir. Yeah, it is so as simple as that, actually.
Yes. Right? So now let us go further. Where were we? Right? So originally, this nature matter, and right, what is the purpose of this universe in this kind of a classification? The purpose of the universe is to make all units
Balance.
of matter conscious.
Mm.
All units of matter conscious is equal to the purpose of the universe. But the purpose of the universe may be comprehended by distinguishing beings, that is, units of elements, elementals out of the mass of the matter. What are these? Can you think about it? units of elements, comma, elementals out of the mass of the matter. What are units of the elements?
Panchaputas elements means that
Panchabhuta ekkodochayamma ikkada?
4 elements, sir.
Ah,
Equal to 4, sir. 5 elements equal to 4. Panchaputas is equal to
Right.
4 elements.
as they progress through the various stages or states in which the matter is conscious, the consciousness is again limited to its function. It doesn't know beyond its function. Say, for example, you have got a flashlight on your phone. Can you use it like a tube light?
No, sir.
What will happen?
Means less light, right?
No, it will burn away. Its function is designed for a few seconds. You use it for 1 hour, it will burn away.
Oh, yeah. 1 hour just both on the.
Correct. So its function is give light for a few moments. That is its function. Beyond that, it is designed to die. Right? So this, how will the matter progress? Right? The matter progression is all these elements progressively higher degrees. They progress to the higher degrees so that all nature matter becomes intelligent matter. That is by virtue of all these elements being changed. Okay? And further, so that intelligent matter shall increase in being conscious until ultimately it becomes consciousness itself. Because consciousness is only one thing, becoming fully aware. Right? And, right, let us go a little bit further. So this human body, so the progression of these nature units, how is it accomplished?
Sir, ikkada matter consciousness two different things kada sir. Ikkada atanu matter
consciousness is applicable to whom?
Yeah, to the matter.
Correct. Right? Consciousness is ante, it is a constant. So don't mix. Matter has to become conscious of itself. That is the objective.
Without consciousness, matter no use. That's why he's using.
No, it is not saying it is not matter. It is not fully polished.
Right.
Just like diamond is inside the gold, I mean, it is inside the coal or coal field, right? So, the progression of these nature units is accomplished while they are on the ground. The ground is common to all nature units. Okay? So, till you become intelligent unit or you become the AIA unit, your progression is only in the nature side. Okay? In the world of birth and death, human body is that common ground. Are you following? It is
Yes,
the
sir.
human body that is the common ground, not the animal body. Okay? The human body is on the lowest degree of the physical plane of all the worlds and spheres. Okay? The units of matter of the world of birth and death are kept circulating through or in contact with human bodies. Otherwise, they will not be able to progress, mind you. So human body is the cleaning agent for all these elements. How are the physical events brought about? By means of this circulation, all physical acts, objects, and events are brought about. It is well to examine the universe as a whole and in all its parts in order to understand the relationship between the human body and the complex universe. Okay? The vehicle of the human body is required for the purification of the matter. Because that is the ground on which the matter progresses. Okay? So to understand this and the relationship of the doer in that body to the nature side and to the intelligence side of the universe. So doer in that body is there in the nature side as well as in the intelligence side. Right? That is the spheres of the world. What are all the nature and universe side? The spheres of the world, the spheres, the worlds, the planes have each an unmanifested and manifested side. That means they are also progressing, mind you. Okay. Any questions this far? Let us understand this with a diagram. Okay. So you have three parts here, correct? The points are the symbolized. Okay, the points are to symbolize presences by their presence. All parts of all inclusive one. Parts of all inclusive ones are kept in right relationship according to the eternal order of progression through the realm of. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That is the total cycle. Okay. You have the spheres, earth sphere, water sphere, air sphere, and fire sphere. These nameless points and the four spheres, correct? You have this, just keep these points. They are required for the progression. Just keep this picture in mind. Later on, he will take us that after death on this physical earth, you pass through 12 different stages in order to circulate us through the body. We will discuss that as we progress, right? He is talking about the invisible physical world or the realm of permanence and the temporal physical world. Temporal is the one that is physically visible. The spheres end in the symbols to follow. The worlds and planes and states of matter are each divided by horizontal diagram. So what is he saying? See, if you take this sphere, right? These are all concentric. Don't see that one is above the other. Because he couldn't explain that way, he has taken. They are all concentric spheres. Okay. So the sphere of the earth has got the manifested part, unmanifested part. The world, the sphere, all of them have that. So here he is talking about the physical world, the form world, the life world, and the light world. Okay, those are the four worlds. And the sphere of earth. Then here he is talking about the invisible physical world or the realm of permanence, right? So there is an order within that. See, owing to the deviation from and interruption in the eternal order of progression, there is on the physical plane of the realm of permanence, the temporal, the human physical world, which is of four planes, the light, life, form, and physical planes. These two worlds differ in that the realm of permanence is of balanced units and is therefore not attuned to human senses, because we are imbalanced, we are under the control of the senses, right? While the human world is of unbalanced units and is in small part visible. Correct? In the text, that is, in the human world, there is some portion that is visible. Right? So, what is this? Is explained further. Right? So, what is saying? The spheres, the worlds, and planes have each an unmanifested and manifested side. The unmanifested side permits and sustains the manifested. Correct? You have followed that?
Yes, sir.
Right? Now, in the diagram, they are shown as upper and lower. So he's just saying that please understand that they are circles with common center. They are concentric circles. Okay. We will stop here. Otherwise, you will get confused. The remaining portion is also very important. This will delve into, that was the foundation of all the units and explaining where they dwell and all. This will actually create the next steps, which is very, very important for us to follow. So we will have this tomorrow. Okay? Is that okay, or do you want me to continue?
Yes, sir. I'm fine, sir.
I think we will stop here.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because it is 8:40. Yeah. Okay. So I will stop the recording here.